God bless you, siblings. I got a dream I received on November 19th. I thought it was a more personal dream, so I didn't bother sharing it back then. But I got the go ahead or the you need to share this. Like it just keeps coming up. So here's the dream. Very interesting dream. I know it's very symbolic. I'm gonna keep having dreams with vehicles. Um, and I think the vehicles can mean ministry. So that's why I thought it was like a personal. But here I go. I am going to share it. So I was in a weird, I don't know what the setting was. It wasn't weird, but it was like a white table and there was two ladies behind it. One was sitting down and one was standing up. And I think I was waiting. Like I could tell that I was waiting for a while. And at first I didn't know why I was waiting there. Um so while I was at this place, I just got like I was just like, all right, I think it's time for me to go. And I told the ladies, all right, I'm going to leave. And the two women said, no, not yet. Like they both, when I told them I was leaving, they were like, "No, not yet." They both kind of yelled it. Um, and then they told me they said, "No, not yet. The doctor specialist is coming." I said I didn't know a doctor specialist was coming. Like no one told me. Um, so as I walked outside, they followed me. We went outside, and there was this old looking vehicle there, maybe from the 80s. So I could tell it was an older, boxier car. But there was a car there. The hood was open, so I stood kind of in front of it, not too far, maybe about 3 to 4 feet away from it, and I was just looking at the motor. And then the two women were right behind me. Um, so I'm looking at the front of the vehicle, and then toward the back of the vehicle, someone is coming. Um, so then they say to me, um, the girls say to me, "All right, there's a doctor specialist." Now I was seeing him in my peripheral, and when this doctor specialist starts coming into view, I turn to him to see him, and it was a big, huge lion. Now I'm looking at this lion, and it was kind of like it was normal, but it wasn't normal. Like I was like, they were like, "That's the doctor specialist," and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "That's a lion, right?" So anyway, so the doctor specialist line comes over, right? And he starts looking at the motor. And he starts looking at it. Then he takes his big double hand paw, and he kind of like moves the motor. And the motor like kind of like just sits back, and then he brings it forward, and then it just sits forward, and then he kind of like pushed it back again. Um, so for those of you who know what a motor looks like in a vehicle, so anyways, so I'm reading here. So he checks out the car, he moves it back and forward. So in real life, a motor doesn't per se do that. I mean, it can rock if you had bad motor mounts. It can wiggle or vibrate some more, but usually the motor mounts are there to absorb the vibration, but also to keep the motor stable. Um, so again, he pushed it back, then pushed it forward, and pushed it back. And then on the right hand side of the motor, now this is not in a real car, the piece that I saw. So I saw this big rectangular hollow metal piece. Inside of the piece was this big thick belt, a belt that belongs on a car. You ever seen those choppers that they have, the motorcycle choppers that they have these big fat belt from the motor to the rear axle? So that's what this was. It was there in front of that, toward the back where the wall would be of the firewall from the engine to the inside of the cab. There was this pulley, Pulley. There was a pulley there, and now I didn't notice it, but he looks at the motor again. You see this big line. He moves the motor back. He pulls it forward. Then he pulls it back. He starts looking around, and then he just goes. He kind of like points with his claw. At this point, he was fading in from a human to a lion. But I wasn't looking at him like to see his features. Um, but he tells me, he says, "This is your problem." And I go over there and look, and I see that the belt is not connected to the pulley. So again, those two pieces are not in the real vehicle. So that's what I'm thinking. That's why I know it's symbolic. This dream is symbolic. So he says to me, he shows me, and he kind of tells me, at this point, he kind of walks behind me and ends up by where the two girls were at. And he says, he tells me this is the problem. And as I look at it, that's when he kind of walks back. And I look at it and I see that the pulley, so assumingly the pulley, I guess, the belt connected to the pulley is what makes the motor go forward. So it keeps it stable or makes the motor go forward. When you turn on the motor wants to go back. So I think it brings it forward or something along the process of that, according to this diagram in this dream, according to the design. So I wrote here the belt is supposed to make it come forward. Then it goes back and repeats the process. But in the process, it keeps it stabilized, I guess. Well, this belt wasn't connected to the pulley. Again, I wrote here the lion who faced in and out as a man. He tells me to leave it to him. He'll fix it. I was afraid. So I wasn't looking at it from the natural perspective. I was just in the dream. Um, so the lion tells me to leave it with him and he'll fix it. I was afraid of how expensive it would be. So I wanted to do it myself and didn't want to leave it with him. He might have said it'll be a couple of days. I don't remember, or 2 days or something along the lines of that. I don't remember, but the dream ended when I said, because I'm looking at the motor, I'm in the engine bay. And once he told me that, I was thinking of how expensive it might be. He said I'll need it a couple of days, and I was just thinking like, okay, I think I'll do it then, because I'm mechanical savvy. A pulley, I could probably fix it. But when I made that decision, I kind of saw in my peripheral, he was just like you're gonna do it, like almost like he gave me that look like, oh, you want to do it. But then I wake up. When I woke up, I was wondering about the dream and I saw the number 36. I thought it was Exodus 36. I don't know, I did read into it, but that was a dream about this mechanic doctor specialist lion. That's why you see that picture in the thumbnail. So if you guys got anything on this, I think it means my ministry is referring to my ministry. Something's not allowing it to go forward, or something's not connected. So if you guys pray on this, if you guys got any insight, please let me know. Um, and God bless you guys. Be safe. Oh, and tomorrow, which is Tuesday, don't forget, guys, I do prayer with a group of people, with my team actually. We do prayer. Bring your prayer requests, and join us in prayers. We all pray in one accord for whatever the prayer requests are. Amen. If you want to be one of the first ones, then to get your prayers prayed for, you got to be there 7 p.m. Eastern time. But yeah, God bless you guys. Links are in description. Read the descriptions if you're trying to contact me. The links are there, emails there, how to reach me, Facebook, Instagram. If you're led to sow a seed, it's in there. That's in there. Um, just just check the description out, guys. But yeah, God bless. Be safe. Until the next one. Bye bye.